Hi everyone, welcome back to For the Love of Dogs. I'm Arthur Benjamin and this is my co-host Farrah White. And today we're going to meet a puppy mill investigator with the SPCA. She'll walk us through exactly how she pulls these illegal breeders of this business and calls them to account.
And then we'll lighten things up a bit with a look at the dog breed that won this year's Westminster Dog Show. Had you ever heard of the Affenpinscher before he won Best in Show? Well, we'll find out more about this adorable dog.
Is that Affenpinscher?
Affen? Is that, yeah, exactly.
But our first guest today is no stranger to our show. Skip Trimble is one of the leading animal welfare advocates in Texas. He's back today to get us caught up on what's going on in the Texas legislature, even as we speak right now.
Right.
Welcome back, Skip.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you.
Yes, very glad to have you.
Thanks.
Always love talking to you. Now, you'll have to bring us up to speed on the puppy mill law.
Okay, well, first you'll recall that we passed the puppy mill bill last session. Mm-hmm. The Texas legislature meets only every other year, so that was in 2011, and we're now in 2013 and taking on another session. But when we passed the puppy mill bill last session, the breeders were outraged, of course, and so they filed a suit to try to stop the enforcement of that law.
Okay.
Claimed it was unconstitutional, an invasion of privacy. They had a litany of charges against that bill. And I'm happy to report that the federal judge hearing that case dismissed it in full about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago.
That's great.
So he has put the stamp of approval on our puppy mill bill, and we're moving forward with enforcement. As of today, there's probably 160 plus puppy mills that have registered, puppy mill breeders that have registered, and there's about 70 more who have made their applications and their facilities are being inspected. And we expect that there's probably another 150, 200 out there that we'll have to dig out of the woods at some point in time, but we're working on it.
So it forces them to register and it forces them to have an inspection.
They have to have an inspection in order to obtain their license, and their facility has to pass that inspection. And then thereafter, they have to file periodic reports. They have annual inspections. They have to have veterinary checkups and humane housing for the dogs and cats. We were a little disappointed in the leniency that the rules gave them as far as housing and care, but it's certainly better than what we had before, and we'll keep looking at it and see if we can improve that situation as well.
So the problem was that the breeding pups, the mothers,
right,
were forced to live in wire cages for their whole life, didn't get exercise,
right,
didn't get vet care, and sometimes didn't get food and water sufficient except when they were breeding.
Right.
How does it stand with this bill?
Well, it requires all of that to go away, with the exception of the wire floors. They still can have wire floors. The wire floors have to be coated with a plastic or I can't think of the other word, but a coating that keep their paws from, getting scratched, but it's still not the best thing. But again, we got a lot, and we'll continue to work to get more.
So what happens if a puppy mill is caught breaking one of these rules?
Good question.
Well, they have, it's administered by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, and they have a series of violations, and they call it a penalty matrix depending upon the type of violation, but the fines can go as high as $5,000, and they can have their license taken away. But something like failing to timely file a report, well, that might be $100 or $200. So it depends on the type of violation, the frequency. If they're repeat offenders, then the second time it's a higher fee than it was the first time, and so forth.
It still doesn't prevent them from being charged with abuse if the dogs are actually abused.
Absolutely. We still have the criminal animal cruelty statutes, and we have what we call the civil animal cruelty statute, which I think you're going to hear about today, that allows law enforcement to seize animals, take them away from owners that are cruelly treating them or abusing them.
is that the HB 279? Or what is that?
No, 279, I think, is the one that is about stealing dogs and cats.
Yes. House Bill 279 is an increased penalty for someone who steals your pet.
Oh, wow.
And it's amazing how many pets are stolen. And unfortunately, they're not stolen because the thief likes puppies or dogs. They're for commercial reasons. Sometimes they resell them, but the prime market is to distribute them to dog fighters to be used as fighting bait.
Oh.
And it's a very, very bad situation out there.
What kind of dogs do they look for that?
Just about any kind. They get the small ones, they get the big ones. Whatever they can steal, they will steal them. Right now, the penalty for stealing anything that's property, and dogs and cats are considered property, is the value of the animal or the thing that's stolen. So a penalty for anything that's less than $50 is a Class C misdemeanor, which is a $500 fine. If it's from $50 up to about $200 or $250, it's a Class B misdemeanor, which again is a fine and maybe up to 3 or 4 months in jail, and they seldom do that. What we're saying, and I like to use the MasterCard advertisement, to our way of thinking, pets are priceless. So they should have the maximum penalty. And so we've got a bill that says if it's a companion animal, then the penalty is a state jail felony.
Ooh. Well,
That's
I
a
mean,
big
that would be
change.
great. I hope you get that, because that
We're
would
working hard to
certainly-
do that and hope so too.
Well, you can do it.
We'll do it.
You do it.
Now, another bill that you have working right now is one that has to do with the rights of somebody to appeal if their dog's found to be dangerous.
Yes. This is a very technical thing, but in the statute that deals with dangerous dogs, if your dog is found to be dangerous by a lower court, which would be a justice of the peace or, excuse me, or a municipal court, then you have the right to appeal that and have another court hear it to determine if that was a correct decision. The problem is that one of the courts that hear that doesn't have jurisdiction because of another part of the code. So it's a very technical legal thing, but it does at times prevent people from being able to have an appeal. They're given an appeal, but the court they appeal to doesn't have jurisdiction to hear it. So it's even the Texas Supreme Court has said that it's not a fair thing and has ordered the legislature to clear it up. So we hope to get that done this session.
Now, that sounds like something that is something that will get cleared up, because it's a right that you have that you can't exercise.
It's what I call legal mumbo jumbo, and we just need to clear it up.
Well, and that's hard, because you never know if an animal is actually dangerous, or like my neighbors across the street have a dog that's deaf. So it got surprised. It had gotten out and it got surprised when someone was suddenly reaching to touch it. And
Right.
it snapped, and they declared that dog dangerous. And
Right.
so everyone had to write letters in the neighborhood saying
Right.
the dog's never out and it's not dangerous, and anyway.
Right.
But so
That's
just a
exactly
horrible
right. And so they
circumstance.
should have the right to appeal. The state
Sure.
statute gives them that right, but just the courts, some of the courts that they would have to go to don't have that jurisdiction because of some kind of a hybrid thing in the law.
Well, normally at this time I'd turn and say, now look at how dangerous he is, but we should tell our viewers in Dallas and Houston that Bandit's on vacation for a week or two.
Bandit, he's
Laying on his back
time
from
off.
Florida by the pool,
That's
having
right.
a good time.
Yeah.
Bandit, I know he's really going to be a dangerous dog
He's
someday.
living the life, that one. Yeah.
So he'll be dangerous when someone tries to take his filet mignon.
Right, exactly. That's the luckiest dog.
You know, the bill that interests me the most, that you're making some progress on, is the bill to end carbon monoxide gas chambers in the state.
Right.
And can you give us an update on where we stand on that?
Right. Several sessions ago, we passed a bill that limited the means of euthanizing dogs and cats in animal shelters to what we call euthanasia by injection. That's sodium pentobarbital. That's the way you would have your pet done at the vet. That's the humane way to take care of animals. Unfortunately, some of the smaller towns wanted to keep the practice of doing it through what we call a gas chamber. They put them in a chamber and they introduce carbon monoxide gas in there. And that can sound like it could be humane, but the problem is it's a very complicated procedure. And unless done exactly right, there's about 10 things that you have to do exactly right to keep it from being very inhumane. And the problem is that it's either the chambers aren't working right, the pressure's not right, the people are not trained right. There's a lot of things that cause these things not to be done right. So over the 4 or 5 years since that's passed, quite frankly, to the credit of animal shelters in Texas, all but 31 have abolished that method.
Good.
But we still have 31 shelters out of about 1,250 in our state. 31 still use carbon monoxide for euthanasia. The largest city would be pretty close to our neighborhood, and that's Greenville. The next would be Victoria and also Odessa. The rest of them are very, very small towns. One of the things that they say that is problematic is that people don't like to euthanize animals and have them die in their arms.
Yeah.
And I understand that.
Sure.
And there's just no good thing about euthanasia. It's a necessity, but
Right.
The best that we can do is to just make it as humane as possible. But the problem is that if they do it right with carbon monoxide, it takes 25 minutes for animals to die in carbon
Which is
monoxide,
just cruel
as
anyway.
opposed to about 30 seconds
Yeah.
with an injection. But the state law requires that you have to watch. You have to have a portal
Yeah.
in the gas chamber, and you have to watch the animals for the full 25 minutes to assure death. And the reason you have to do that is because unless you're watching the gauges, and the gauges are putting the right amount of combination between carbon monoxide gas and oxygen, then they may not die, or it might be quicker, and which would make it more painful. So
Horrible.
watching animals
Yeah.
die and
You know-
taking 25 minutes to do so, I would say that that's not a very good reason.
Just
No.
talking about it
It's not.
starts to affect me, and I'm sure it's affecting some of our viewers. And we
Right.
so appreciate, Skip, everything that you and your organization are doing to move these bills forward and to help animals. It's truly a pleasure to have you on the show every time. And
Glad
we really appreciate you shining a light on these issues for all of us, and we know you'll keep fighting on behalf of the animals everywhere. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me, and I just want to put in a pitch. If anyone out there wants to help us, we have a website, thln.org. Go there. We will put different things on there telling you when bills are being heard, what they're about, and you can help by just contacting your legislature.
So again, that's www.thln.org. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
My name is Teresa. This is Scooter.
My name is Amber. This is Duke.
I'm Dr. Dixon, and this is Annie.
I'm Emily. This is Jackson. I'm Kelsey, and this is Skittles.
My name is Miko. This is Chloe.
My name is Ty. This is Callie.
My name is Tamar. This is Simon.
My name is Renee. This is Snowball.
My name is Dr. Miller. This is Fletcher.
My name is Eric. This is Sport.
My name is Stacy, and this is Britches.
And I'm a pet lover first.
And I'm a pet lover first.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
Welcome back to Two for the Love of Dogs. Skip just told us that a judge recently ruled against breeders who fought back to try and keep their business going. The case was dismissed.
But unfortunately, those puppy mills are still active despite being illegal. The SPCA of Texas recently released a PSA reminding people of where some of these puppies are coming from. It's a powerful PSA, public service announcement, and we want to show it to you again so you really see what it's like. Watch this.
Every year, families in North Texas unknowingly spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in support of neglect, abuse, and disease. When you buy a puppy from a parking lot or flea market, you could be supporting the cruelty of puppy mills that profit from dogs bred in abusive conditions. Help us stop the cycle. To learn how, go to spca.org/no-puppy-mills and take the puppy pledge.
Joining us today is a woman who sadly sees this going on firsthand. Ann Barnes is an investigator with the SPCA of Texas and is here to talk more about the fight against puppy mills. Ann, can you tell us truthfully, how big of a problem are puppy mills in Texas?
It's a huge problem. There's more than what people think. They're used to hiding themselves, and they're not transparent with the people that are looking to buy the dogs.
What's a sign of a puppy mill? How do you know it's a puppy mill? How do they appear?
Well, the first thing is puppy mill owners don't allow you on their property. They're the ones that are going to meet you at the gas station or in a parking lot because they don't want you to see what's truly going on. The other thing is if you're not allowed to see the mother or the father. You know, reputable breeders will invite you into their kennel for you to look at the mother and father and the other dogs that they have there. So, you know, puppy millers, it's just all about the almighty dollar, and the dog's care just isn't there.
So what can people do, let's say if people were to see a person selling animals out of the back of their truck or see something like that, what can they do to help stop that?
The best thing is to report it. If you suspect or see anything that makes you think that it's a puppy mill, you can go to our website, spca.org, and report it. And our Cruelty and Investigations Department documents every call. Even if we can't do something that minute because we don't have enough information, we keep that record. So the more information we get, the more we can do.
So, for example, if someone, let's say I saw a truck at a parking lot, if someone were to get a tag number, are there people that work with you to where you could actually find out who that truck belonged to and thusly find out where that puppy mill is? Or
yes, and all of our rescue and investigation team are certified peace officers.
Oh, okay.
So they carry a commission, and they're very well trained at what to look for and how to handle it and how to get around the barriers that puppy millers put up to stay hidden.
Well, and I didn't mean to totally ignore. Tell us who you have with you.
It's the small elephant in the room.
The small elephant that everyone's like, oh!
What a cute little girl.
This is Charlotte, and she was surrendered by her owners, her and her brother, and they're both currently at our Jan Reese Jones Animal Care Center up for adoption.
And she's how old?
She's 8 weeks, and she's really smart. We actually, just before the show, taught her how to sit, so she is going to be a very smart girl.
And you think she's what breeds?
She's Chow and Golden Retriever mix.
She's a soft, like a little fur, little just
like
stuffed
a teddy
animal.
bear.
Right. So what does it take for you to be an investigator? Is that just incredibly hard for you, or is it something that you just, like, how do you do that?
It's difficult when you know the conditions that the animals are in. But if we do our job right and we get the animals off the property and get them into our facilities where they're taken care of, that kind of makes up for everything you've seen during the investigation.
Yeah.
You recently went into Kaufman County, which is an area that seems to have large numbers of puppy mills. I remember maybe 2 years ago there was a huge puppy mill bust in Kaufman County with the Humane Society of the United States helping about 550 animals. What was this one like?
That, like you said, it was the Humane Society of the United States that did the preliminary investigation. It was your normal puppy mill. The mama dogs and the puppies are not well taken care of. There usually involves cruel confinement. Food, water, and care is not necessarily given to every animal. After they negotiated a deal with the owner, we ended up taking some of those dogs to help them find them homes. But we see a lot in Van Zandt County. I mean, East Texas. They're well hidden. And then the flea markets that happen around the area are, that's where they go and sell them. The internet, don't buy a puppy over the internet.
So besides Kaufman, before that, there was another, or right after that, there was another in Ellis County. Do you know anything about that?
In Ellis County, was it us?
I believe so, yeah.
That was like 4 years ago.
Oh, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
But these are things you're doing right
we
now.
Do it
I mean, this
on
is
a
not
regular
old.
basis. We have 2 investigators that's all they do is puppy mill work, because we're really committed into shutting these places down. And hopefully putting enough out there that they either shut down or they move to another state.
So it's not illegal for people to buy from a puppy mill?
No.
But are there any type of rewards offered for pointing them out or helping shut them down?
You know, that's a really good idea. We currently don't have a reward for reporting or shutting down a puppy mill. We do provide rewards for other types of animal cruelty that people report, but I think it's just in their heart. If they feel that it wasn't right, they call and they report it.
Well, which hopefully more and more people will do. I know that a lot of different organizations are doing educational programs and showing kids, you know, kind of what looks right and doesn't look right when it comes to animals.
Well, I know the SPCA works closely with the Humane Society of the United States, and the Humane Society of the United States has a standing $5,000 award for the report and conviction of somebody who's been abusive to animals.
Yes.
Well, I think puppy mills certainly fall in that. Well, thank you so much for coming on the
You're
show
welcome.
today and bringing this little beauty.
Before we leave this segment, it's very important. Charlotte's up for adoption along with her brother.
She is.
She's at the SPCA.
That's right.
She's bright. She's
fuzzy.
Affable. She's soft, warm, cuddly.
She's pretty
and
darn cute.
This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful animal.
She's good looking.
Beautiful.
If you want to learn more about Charlotte or the SPCA of Texas or how you can take a stand against puppy mills, call 214-742-SPCA. To report animal cruelty, call 214-461-1850. And you can also go online at spca.org.
And Charlotte and her brother, thank you for your interest for all of the dogs, and please contact the SPCA.
That's
we'll
right.
be right back.
Hi, I'm Sheryl Crow, and I'm a musician and a mother, and this is Buttercup. She's also a mother, but not by choice. She's a survivor of a puppy mill. Buttercup spent her life in a dirty wooden hutch, forced to produce litter after litter. She never went to a veterinarian or a groomer. She never had a soft spot to rest or a kind touch. She existed this way in cruel isolation year after year. Puppy mills are mass production factories where mother dogs suffer their entire lives, producing nearly 100% of puppies sold in pet stores and on the internet. When these dogs are no longer able to produce, they are often destroyed. Buttercup's nightmare ended the day Animal Rescue Corps saved her life. She finally knows what it means to have a loving family, but for the millions of dogs suffering in the estimated 15,000 puppy mills across the United States, this nightmare continues. Animal Rescue Corps and I ask you to visit your local shelter or rescue when choosing your next animal companion. You will not only be saving a life, you will be helping put an end to this cruel industry. Please go to animalrescuecorps.org to learn more about ending puppy mills. Buttercup and I thank you.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to For the Love of Dogs. Did you see the Westminster Kennel Club dog show? This year had a first. The Affenpinscher won the Best in Show, and that's never, ever happened before.
And it's Banana Joe, right? Banana Joe was the winning dog, and the winning breed was Affenpinscher. It was the first time an Affenpinscher won Best in Show, and this breed was once known for hunting, but now they say it's best known for its humor.
You know, it's really because of its cute little monkey face. They look just like monkeys in the face, and it's considered to be a very lovable breed. Joey, as he is called at home in the Netherlands, will now retire from dog shows.
Aww.
Most dogs who win retire from dog show. If you won first place in Westminster, and you were top of class, and you were best of breed, and you were best in show,
right?
What would you do?
I would try to get into movies.
They retire and go into movies.
Before leaving New York, Joey made his one and only appearance on Broadway. He appeared for one night only in The Mystery of Edwin Drood. So now Joey can say that he not only won the Westminster, but he has a Broadway star. Not bad for this little 5-year-old dog.
But he has a lot of trouble saying Edwin Drood.
Yeah, right, and often pinches.
Well, that's it for today's show. Thanks so much to Skip Trimble and Ann Barnes for being our guests today.
Remember to keep up with For the Love of Dogs online at AmericanDogRescue.org or follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
For all of us here, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.